everybody. Good to see you. Welcome to episode 4 of the Guitar Gravity Show. So glad to be with you once again. Apologize for the tech issues, but I'm so glad that you stuck around and you're ready to learn. And today we're going to dive deep into how to play acdc's Thunderstruck, that opening riff. And I'm going to explore that and also explore like the theory behind it, as well as some concepts to help you create your own single string ideas. And yeah, we're going to do a deep dive into that, and also 2 things that surprised me when I was learning this riff as well that I just did not know before. So before we get started, I want to draw your attention towards a gift I have for you. If you want to take your guitar skills to the next level, especially it's a new year, don't give up on those goals. And what I put together is a free PDF to help you take your guitar skills to that next level, and just help casting a vision, giving you some bigger mindsets to look at, and giving you some videos, exercises, lots of actionable content. So please grab that. The PDF is free and it's in the link below, so make sure to grab that right away if you haven't already. And that'll also put you in touch with my communication and just help get you plugged into the growing community that we have here at Guitar Gravity. So welcome to Guitar Gravity, to the e-learning platform. And keep your eyes open this year as well. We're going to be putting together a course, some other things that you can take action on. So let's, without further ado, dive deep into today's lesson. Oh, sorry. So to start this episode off, we're going to just go right into the Thunderstruck guitar riff. See if I remember how to play it. I think we all know that riff when we first hear it, and when I hear it, it just fires me up. I love that anthem from acdc. It's one of those classics that I think every guitarist should learn, and that's why we're going to look at it. It's more of an intermediate guitar lick, and that's what we're here to look at. Is that's the level we're working on. So we're going to look at this riff and let's explore it on a deeper level. Okay, so right away, the first thing that actually surprised me when I was learning this, and I heard this from a fellow YouTuber, his name's Paul Davids, and he talked about how he's always played it with pull-offs, so you get this thing going on. And that's how I've always really played it, is just... And maybe I was just taking the easy way out, and then what he pointed out is actually, if you really listen to it, it's all alternate picking, so it's down up the whole time, which interestingly enough on the video that acdc does, he's actually, Angus Young is doing pull-offs like this. I think it's just to make it look cooler in the video. It's a lot more dramatic the way he does it, but when you hear the attack of the notes, it's like fire. It's like a machine gun, and he's getting that effect with alternate picking. So if you hear the difference, this is how I used to play it, and then this is with the alternate picking. It's a subtle difference, but when you just put that into a big rock song, it'll really just, every note will come through. Why need compression when you're just giving those big attacks on the notes? So one thing so if you look at the tabs right below me, on the screen, you'll see that we have a note, and then the upstroke we're landing on an open string. So a challenge there when you're working through this is when you're trying to get to that open string, is sometimes the note that you're lifting off from on your left hand can catch it. So when you're lifting off, sometimes this finger can be muting, and you might get a clanky sound, or like the finger just doesn't get out of the way in time. So that's something just when you're working on this, is take your time make sure that when you lift off the left hand, that you're able to, on the upstroke, produce that open string. So what we have going on here, if you look at the notes, it's he's outlining a B major chord. And then what we have next is he's going in, he's basically taking the same shape, and then he's going to the frets 5 and 8, and right now he's outlining an E minor chord. So we have B major, and then the next part. Okay. So the next part now is now we're moving all the way up to the 12th fret. So a lot more dancing around the notes here, and this is a really good exercise to really show you how you can take something on one string and really make it come alive and sound, make it sound very melodic. So practice that. The notes are there, so take your time with those notes. Another thing I should mention is my right hand is also, anytime you're doing a lick like this that's just on one string, you have to be aware of not wanting the other guitar strings to ring out. So one thing, if you notice, my right hand is doing very slightly, it's muting the flesh of my hand here is resting on the upper strings, and like these strings right here. That just helps get rid of any unwanted noise. It's not going to get rid of all of it, but it does help keep things tighter. So if I didn't do that, it would sound like this. You'd hear a lot more of that open, unwanted noise. So just the flesh on my thumb as I'm resting my pick down. It's just covering some of those unwanted, strings above, and getting rid of that unwanted noise. Okay, so the second thing that surprised me, so the first thing that surprised me was the alternate picking. That's what was going on instead of the hammer-ons and pull-offs. But the second thing that surprised me, and I don't know if this is intentional or not on Agnes Young's part, but I think what's going on that I noticed is there's two different scales that are being played. So if you look at the two chords, we have B major, then we have E minor. So when I took those patterns and looked at those notes, I realized that what we have is what's called a Phrygian dominant scale, and essentially it sounds like this. It's got like a Middle Eastern vibe to it. Now he's not playing those notes below it, so you don't really hear a lot of that vibe. But I don't think this is what maybe his intention was. I think it's just a pattern that, it's just these patterns, and he's just moving it up a fret, and the chords, they work together. But when you explore it as a thing to do, I think it's a really good thing to do. Anytime you're learning a lick like this, it takes some time to ask, like, oh, what scales are being used, what techniques are being used, and just to help do a deep dive in what you're learning, and it'll just help solidify the concepts you're learning. So that's what I did here. Might be overlooking it or going too deep into it, but just as a practical thing to practice, this is what I think if you explore the notes, you could find the scale in those notes. And the second scale that's going on is something more familiar in the rock context, and it's basically it's a Mixolydian scale. And so as you can see, like the difference in the notes here, just a few notes change, it's a minor difference, but a dramatic difference. So if you look at the notes on the screen, this is the Mixolydian scale, and it has a more familiar sound. It's a major scale, but it has that flat 7, so it's a bluesy sound. flat 7. So that was my second thing that surprised me, was he's using 2 different scales, intentionally or unintentionally. It's a really cool thing to see in a rock song, 2 different modes being used. So let's take it to another level and make this practical for you. So I put together 3 exercises, 3 single string exercises that just help unlock how you can be creative with these ideas. So we're going to take that scale, the mixed leading scale, and we're going to look at these 3 patterns. So the first thing I would do is learn the scale up and down, and I would also be throwing in the open notes. So that's what we're going to do here. We're going to play the B mixed Lydian scale and play open notes afterwards. So we're going to get this. One more time. So take it slow, lock in, really work on smaller movements, rest your hand on the strings, and that helps with the palm muting, and work through the scale, help visualize the notes, and that'll help you come up with your own ideas. So the next idea that I have here that you can work on is very similar, but what we're doing is we're taking a group of 2 notes, so the first 2 notes of the scale, and then we repeat, and then we add 2 open string notes. Then I go to the next 2 notes of the scale, and then add the open string notes. So this is what you hear. So these are the first 2 notes, and then I follow it by 2 open string notes. Then I go to the second and third note of the scale, followed by 2 open string notes. Then I go to the third and fourth note of the scale, followed by 2 open notes. So if you can see the pattern, so I'll just play all the notes together of the scale. And then go back down. Now the last one gets a little bit more creative. So another way that you can approach something like this is to hear, I have a percussion background, so I find hearing a pulsating rhythm, something like you'd hear on a drum, can help you. So what I recommend is find a nice drum groove that you like, just a rhythm that you can clap out to. And in this example, we're going to do, so it's like da, 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 da. 1, 2, da, 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 da. And that's how I approach this. I had this pulsating rhythm, and then I've found a pattern that worked with the notes in the mode. So that's what's going on here. So I'll just play it for you. So again. So dun dun da 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 da. A little bit more challenging, and I'm just focusing on that, all those notes that are not the open string ones, but the other ones. I'm just accenting them too. So just hitting the note harder. There you go. Please run with this. Hope you've got some inspiration, and I just challenge you to work on a single string pattern that you come up with your own. You have the notes that I've given you and some patterns to work on. Maybe take that pattern we just did, or the second one or first one, and add different notes and see what you can come up with. So that's my challenge for you this week. See what lick that you can come up with. All right, just want to draw your attention towards, again, this free PDF I put together for you. It's called 5 Myths That Stop You from Achieving Guitar Greatness. And it's just helping cast a bigger vision for you in your guitar playing, and just some things I've learned along the way to hopefully inspire you, help you avoid some pitfalls in your learning, and help you take things up to that next level. So free PDF. It's got some videos. It's got tabs for you, and yeah, I hope like to see you guys get results from this, and please let me know what results you are getting. So again, please grab that. The link is down below. Looking forward to connecting with you more on another episode, and until next time, rock on.